someone was essentially impersonating the Bunnell Police Department, even to the extent that their caller ID had the actual phone number of the Bunnell Police Department come up.
The number, of course, was spoofed, and Bunnell Police Chief David Brannon says it's all a scam. He tells WNZF what line the scammer used next.
They indicated that they had an arrest warrant and demanded credit card information to pay a fine to avoid an arrest.
Brannon says neither they nor any police department would call you about an arrest warrant.
If they have an arrest warrant for somebody, we're going to come knocking on the door of that person, not calling them in advance to pay a fine. And they're never going to ask for credit card information, frankly, for any reason. We have no business doing anything like that. We have no reason to do that.
And if you get a call like this,
they should immediately hang up when they start to hear that type of dialogue and then report the incident to their local law enforcement agency. Whether they're identifying the Bunnell Police Department or anybody else for that matter, it's a scam. And like I said, if law enforcement truly had an arrest warrant for somebody, they're going to do that in person. They're never going to do that over the telephone.
This local news is a service of Flagler County's Toyota dealer, Beaver Toyota, US 1 St. Augustine, here to wow you.
Metronet has begun construction on a fiber optic network that's going to bring high-speed broadband access to Palm Coast. Chris Smith is the Director of Government Affairs for Metronet.
We did start construction about 3 weeks ago, and I'm very excited to say we have roughly 10,000 feet of underground already established. So the way we start out in a community is once we get in partnership with the community, meaning we want to be a good steward to the city. We want to be invested in Palm Coast. And so we do that through partnership with the city and through city leadership. And we also want to communicate. Lots of folks don't understand what goes into construction, especially for a telecom or a fiber optic line. We want to restore as we go. At the end of the day, I can't sugarcoat it. It's construction. It's messy, it's uncomfortable. And then we release as we go. So as we complete construction in areas, we release those areas so that residents can take advantage of the fiber optic service we provide.
Palm Coast City Councilman Nick Kloufis is thrilled with the $50 million investment Metronet is making in the city.
I couldn't imagine years ago that we would be at a point now where we're actually deploying gigabit capability to our residents. It's such a huge level of the playing field, not only for students who don't have adequate access to internet today, but also anyone who works at home. And there's been recent studies, CoreLogic just produced an analytical report that says access to a gigabit symmetrical connection can increase a home's value upward of $2,500 on a $250,000 home. It's the equivalent of having a fireplace.
If digging for the underground network will be happening in your neighborhood, expect to receive a letter or postcard in the mail, or you'll see signs in your community. From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm Amy Cherry.
A wanted felon is back behind bars after leading Flagler County deputies on a chase.
Sheriff Rick Staley says it happened Tuesday near the ramp of I-95 southbound and Palm Coast Parkway.
Deputies investigated an aggravated assault at a homeless camp near Walmart. Later in the day, they spotted the suspect who attempted to flee. After a perimeter was set up, fire, flight, and canine was called in. He was found hiding under a tractor trailer in the loading docks of Walmart.
When the suspect was being booked, deputies learned he had several arrest warrants, but not from here. They were out of Pennsylvania.
Not only did he go to jail for being a fugitive, but he was also charged with 5 additional felonies for assaulting the other homeless individual.
The man is now held without bond. For Flagler's Morning News, I'm Rich Petchke.
A local elected leader weighs in on state funding allocated for 2 projects that will have major impacts on Flagler County.
With the recently signed Freedom First budget by Governor DeSantis are allocations for 2 important projects right here in Flagler County. Flagler County Commissioner Donald O'Brien talks about the septic to sewer conversion on the Barrier Island.
The septic to sewer projects up in the Hammock are critical because it'll impact water quality in the intercoastal and the ocean, obviously.
Then there's the future extension of Flagler's Central Commerce Parkway.
The Commerce Parkway project, which is the bypass that runs from Highway 100 down on an angle down to US 1 through the bottom part of Bunnell, is important. That's going to open up a whole lot of economic development opportunities.
Both projects total to receiving $14.8 million. For Flagler's Morning News, I'm Karen Johnson.
How is WIC affected by the current baby formula shortage?
Michelle Morrell is the director of the WIC program through the Flagler County Health Department. She said that WIC is hearing from mothers who cannot find baby formula during the current shortage.
You go into the store and the amount of formula that you see is maybe a dozen cans. And, a can will only last a couple of days for maybe these babies if they're not being breastfed at all.
Morrill said WIC has heard from mothers who call in a panic because they can't find the formulas to feed their babies. She said that in emergencies only, WIC has some formula for its clients only. Listen to Flagler Health Matters on Saturday mornings at 11:30 here on WNZF, anytime on the Flagler radio app. From the WNZF newsroom, I'm Deb Albertson.
The weekend is here. That means it's family fun time. Here's Stacy with fun for Augie kids.
Today, the Flagler County Library is hosting their Pixels and Pearlers event. Play Switch games such as Smash Brothers and Mario Kart, and even create some of your own 8-bit art. This event is open for those in grades 6 through 12. Tonight, join the Palm Coast Parks and Recreation for their Movies in the Park free community event. See Disney's reimagined classic as Mary Poppins helps the Banks family remember the joy of what it's like to be a child. Bring your blanket, lawn chairs, picnic baskets, and invite your friends and neighbors out to enjoy the show. Join mascot Luke at the Flagler Fairgrounds for this community birthday bash. There will be carnival games, prizes, food, pet adoptions, and lots of fun planned for everyone. Proceeds will go to Vincent's Clubhouse. For more on these events and others, visit us on our website at fun4augiekids.com. Have a great weekend.
And now you're up to date on Flagler's Morning News. I'm Rich Carroll.